All right, hey guys, Jason here. We are up here. We are at Kyle Durant's. This is actually the dealership over in Claxton, Georgia, a little ways from my house here, where we actually bought Bella's Invista, her Buick Invista that she got, her 2024 Invista. Today, what we're going to be talking about is when to walk from the deal. When to walk away from the deal. We're going to get in. All right, so when to walk away from the deal. Again, we're just going to browse here. I'm going to let you look as I'm talking. But when to walk away from it. So you've done your research. So you already are coming into this educated. You know the value, you know what the other deals are around, you know what local prices are, you know what out-of-town prices are, you know how many of these are available. You have done the work already. The sales guy that's going to come running out of that door once you step on a lot and you get about this many steps from your truck, he's going to come running out because he thinks it's your fresh bait and food and he wants you. And that's okay because that's what they're supposed to do. That's their job. And many of them are going to do a very good job of trying to answer your questions for you and find out where you're at and what you're looking for and what your price range is and that kind of stuff. This is all to be expected. We expect that stuff to do because most buyers are not you. Most buyers come in here, this is how they do it, is they show up on a lot and they start looking. When they start looking, the sales guy's job is to take over and gear them into what they need and steer them in that direction and answer their questions. It's a very good thing on what they're supposed to do. You, on the other hand, are different. You already are educated. You already know what vehicle you want. You already know what the prices are. You already know what the values are. You already know how many are available. You already know this stuff. You've watched my videos. You've seen this stuff. You know what you're doing. The sales guy does not know that. And you also know all the games that they're going to play. You know all the things that they're going to pull. You know the little tips and tricks and tactics they're going to use. You have all of this stuff in your skill set and your knowledge already. He does not know that. So when you get to the dealership, you have to cut sales guys a little bit of slack. They assume that everybody is stupid, naive, and knows nothing about this. And the last truck they bought was 10 years ago, if they even bought one before. And look at how nice that looks. I love the old school chrome on that color. That looks amazing. So does that, even on a black. Brings me back. I love it. Very nice. But so this is where they're going to be at, what they're going to assume and think. So you have to cut them some slack. Understand they're not used to dealing with somebody as educated as you are, and they won't know you're that educated until you start showing them that. That doesn't mean to jump out at them and be like, hey, listen, I see you coming, but just understand, I already know what I'm doing. Okay, that's not what they want to see or how they want to see it. They don't want it to be approached that way. Like those wheels a lot too. Looks very nice. And those, like I said, GMC is killing it on the wheels. So you don't want to do it that way or play those kind of games with it. What you want to do is just be nice to him and answer his questions so that you can build and establish that kind of natural rapport with him. And through those questions he's going to ask you, you're going to let him know right off the bat that you are educated. You know, hey, sir, how you doing? I see you looking at this GMC Sierra. This is a beautiful truck, man. These diesels are really nice. You're going to love one of these. You'd look really good in that. Thanks. I've been watching them for a while. I know quite a bit about them, and this seems to be the one that I've narrowed it down to. I've looked at the Fords. I looked at the Silverado versions. I like the options. I like the differences that are in here. I've also been looking at local prices, and I know that there's enough of these available that they're going to negotiate well, and I'm going to get some good deals. Great. That's what he's going to say. You see what I'm getting at here? You're setting the pace while being nice and letting him know what's going on. So once you do that, you're all good, and then you can keep that going. And now he knows what kind of person he's going to deal with. That sets the bar for whether or not you're going to want to continue to deal with him. It sets the bar. You have let him know through your little talk that you had, whether it's via the phone, emails, or actually here on a lot, you have set that pace for him to know the type of person that he is dealing with is not the average everyday guy. Now, if he can deal with that the right way, and he can keep working with you now on a intimate level as far as the knowledge and the skill sets and understand it, he's not going to pull the wool over on you. You're not going to accept add-ons and BS stuff, and you're not going to have him tell you, well, we already did the paint protection on there, so we're going to charge you for it. You're going to come back and say, I don't care. I didn't ask for it. You can take it off if you want to, but I'm not paying for it. Okay, that kind of stuff. Same with undercoating. You know these things already. You have already set that pace with him. And if he's still willing to work with you and he's still willing to go, then you know that you're in the right track and you're good to go. When the red flags start to pop up and you start to get that uneasy feeling, that's when it's time to start walking. What are those uneasy feelings? Like you get the feeling like he's mad already that you're that kind of customer and he doesn't want to deal with you because he realizes that he's not going to make a ton of money off of you. He's going to still fight it. Then he's not the one that you want to be dealing with. Oftentimes, once you start talking to these guys and when you get to the number phase and you start throwing numbers out and you start showing them and telling them where you're expecting to be at, a lot of times they're immediately going to kick you right over to the sales manager. Okay, or the finance guy. They're not gonna answer that for you. It has to go to sales manager. You've immediately stepped well beyond their means. Okay, these sales guys have got a zone, and they got red flags markers that when they hit these, they're basically going, the sales manager's like, okay, this is above and beyond you. You don't get to make these decisions. When one of these buttons gets triggered, you come to me. And that's where you end up at. So like I said, me personally, when I call on a truck, I don't talk to a sales guy. I talk to him for the first 3 minutes and then we're automatically kicked over to the finance guy or the sales manager. It just doesn't, there's nothing the sales guy can do for me. That's the stuff you got to be watching for. If he's willing to do that and he's going to send you over there, fantastic. But know the game so you know where the red flags are and you know where they're going to put this stuff at. When you feel comfortable with the way that the whole process is going, you're in a good place and you're feeling good about it. When they're working with you and trying to work with you, you're feeling good about it. That is a gold mine. When that gets out of hand and it doesn't work that way anymore and there's no longer that option, and now that you start to get that queasiness and that sink in the bottom of your stomach, like, I don't know about this. This is making me uncomfortable. This is making me nervous. I'm not really feeling this. That's when you know that you're starting to get the flags. Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. And remember that for some people, it's just a purchase of a vehicle. For others, if you live here locally, it's the purchase of the vehicle plus your service department plus all that kind of stuff. So you have to feel comfortable about the situation, depending on how you're going to be there. But as soon as you start getting that uneasiness, that's a red flag that you should be listening to for sure. As soon as you start getting any rudeness from them because of the fact that you are educated and because you do know what you're doing and you're not that easy target buyer, then and if they don't treat you right because you're not that easy target buyer, red flag, starting to think about time to walk. When they start telling you that add-ons and markups and BS stuff like that is non-negotiable, it's time to start walking. You want to catch them off the bat, right off the gate. Ask them what their doc fee is. You know, when he comes up and he says, hey, how you doing today, girl? Great. What's your doc fee? So just ask that question right off the bat. Watch the demeanor change instantly. And you'll see if he comes back and says, oh, our doc fee is only $5.99. We pretty pride ourselves on being one of the best doc fees. That's good. Comes back and he says, what's the doc fee matter? What are you looking at? You know, this kind of thing. Like I said, you can almost, I'm not saying to ask him that. I'm just saying you would probably floor 90% of salespeople if the first statement out of your mouth then was, what's your doc fee? Because it's a fee that they know they have to fight tooth and nail to get people to agree to because it's a stupid astronomical charge. Down here in the South, it's not uncommon to see $1,000 and $1,200 doc fees. Now, some are still $5.99, $7.99, things like that. But down here, it's very common to see $1,000, $1,200 for a doc fee. And people get pissed about that. Okay, it's ridiculous. So, you know, that's the kind of thing. When you can, the demeanor of the dealer or the sales guy is everything. Now, once you pass the sales guy, and you get into the finance guy or the sales manager, which is where you're going to end up at. That's where you're going to go ultimately. If you're buying your truck right, you will have already surpassed the sales guy, at least for the number gathering capable part. The sales guy is still the one that's going to show you the vehicle, help you get it ready and prepped when you're going to buy it and sign the paperwork, but it is the finance guy or your sales manager that is the one that is going to actually do the deal for you. If you're not getting a deal from them, that means you didn't try hard enough, because you should be in there where you are above what the sales guy is capable of, and you are now working with the finance manager or the sales manager to actually make the deal happen. That's when you're there, you know you're in a good place. Good time to walk when they won't put you through to the sales manager or the finance manager, when they don't even try. When you just start hearing no's, we can't do that. When a sales guy tells you, yeah, we can't do that, then they didn't even try to go to the sales manager, you know it's not even worth your time at that dealership. Just move on. That means that those guys have basically set a rule right off the bat and said, okay, we do not go below this. We will not drop below 7%. Okay, so don't even bother. If they say you want more than 7%, tell them we don't do it and move on. Okay, so move on. Walk. Get away from it. It's not worth your time, not worth your energy, not worth your effort. So you have to consider this stuff. Now, we've covered a couple good points, but the other big one here too is when the games start playing. And not all dealerships do, but a lot of them do. But when that game starts to play and you're in this situation and you're looking at this truck and you're all excited and you guys kind of worked out a number and things are good, and then you start getting into the financing, remember, you're going to have sell rate and buy rate. And you're going to have to deal with that. Many dealerships are going to they're going to knock the percentage up 2%. You may have your own bank ahead of time because you already knew that. So you went and got your own financing through your own credit union as far as all pre-approved and lined up. You work a deal out and then you tell them and you say, okay, financing wise, I'm doing it myself. I have my own bank. And then they say, well, wait a minute, we were going to give you $7,000 off, but that was contingent on you financing it through us. Now, if you're going to finance it yourself, we're not giving you the $7,000 off. That's a good time to try to renegotiate that and understand it, but you see where they're coming from. They were expecting to get 2% of your $50,000 or $60,000 purchase right off the bat. They don't get that monthly. They get that sell rate the second they close the deal and sign it. They call the bank, say, hey, you told us 6%, we just got it for you for 8%, I want our 2% check. And that's what they do, and the bank sends them a check for 2%. That's how it works. So they're going to be pretty upset when you tell them, well, you got your own financing, so now you just cut them out of that percentage. You just cut them out of 2%. You know, you just knocked $1,000 out of their pocket right there instantly. They're not going to be real happy about that. So they're going to try to argue that with you. This is a time where you want to be calm and relaxed and try to renegotiate it with him and let him know that, hey, it's only $1,000. I'm sure that your dealership makes that extra thousands of dollars and $1,000 in many different ways. But on this particular deal, you're going to have to bite the bullet and swallow it because you did tell me the price. You did tell me the thing. You did not tell me it was contingent on me financing it through you. You just said it was contingent on me financing it. And if you're going to play those games, I'm going to walk. Over $1,000. You're going to lose a deal over $1,000. Now, I'm okay with that because there's a ton of these out there and there's a lot of people that will deal. And I already have backup and contingency plans in order. You were my first go-to because my friend came here and they liked it and they did a good job. And so I'm here, but realistically, I got options and options and options. And if we're done here, we're done. Let me know if you're going to walk away from this because of the fact that you lied and said that I can't finance it or get that deal unless I finance it through you, which means that you are hitting me with sell rate, which you are trying to take advantage of me by 2% on there, which I'm willing to let go if you're going to knock that price down for me automatically, or you're going to let me finance it myself so that I don't have to deal with it. You see what I'm getting at? See how that conversation goes? Control the situation. Make it yours. Know when to walk. When the games start and things don't get comfortable, if you cannot recover from it, walk away. If you get an uneasy feeling, walk away. If the deal does not seem to be fitting what you're looking for or going in your direction, walk away. If they try to take over the deal and tell you what you can and cannot do, walk away. If you feel like that the financing is not working in your favor, or they're screwing you on rates, or they're messing with you on any of that kind of stuff, walk away and get a second opinion on it by calling your own banks. If you feel that they're cheating you on the actual vehicle itself, maybe something's not done right, it had a dead battery, and they're like, oh, we'll charge a battery for you. I don't want a charged battery. If I go to buy this truck right here with 2 batteries in it, and I go to start this thing and the batteries are dead, don't tell me you're going to charge it. If a battery gets drained down below 80% to a point where it will not crank an engine, that battery is now damaged for life. There's no two ways about it. Unless it's a deep cycle LiPo 4 battery, lithium battery, it is damaged for life. Okay, it is now 80% or 70% the battery capacity it once was. I will not tolerate that. If I come out here and I go and look at this truck and we go to start it and that batteries are dead, don't tell me you'll charge it. You better be telling me you're putting in, and I want to see them, and I'll be checking. I'll look at the model numbers and the dates on the batteries, and I expect 2 brand new ones put in it. Charging it will not be acceptable, yet they will charge it. They will charge it is what they will try to get you to do. They don't want to buy and put new batteries in it. They don't want you to know that that battery is now depleted and no longer a quality state that it was anymore. When a battery drains, to a point of not starting, that battery is technically lost 70%, or it's down to 70, 60, 70% of its lifespan instantly. So if it was a 5-year battery, it's now a 2-year battery, or a 3-year battery, 4-year battery. It's gone. You're not going to tolerate that. These are things to watch for. And if they're not going to work with you and they're not going to take care of you and treat you right, it is time to walk. That is the best advice I got for you. Anytime you are uncomfortable, walk. So, and remember, there's never been anybody in history of car buying that I've ever met or known that walked away from a deal and did not get a better deal later. There's never been a time that this truck right here, this particular elevation 2-wheel drive truck right here, and let's say the dealership sales guy tells you, oh my God, right now is the best we got on it. It's a 2024. So the prices on these things right now, they're $5,000 off. You'll never beat that. And it's only good until today, like right now, today's February, it's last week of February. So they're going to say it's only good for the next 3 days because in March, those deals are gone. No, if this truck is still sitting here and it hasn't been sold, or any of the 2024s are still sitting here in March, when March rolls around, 3 days later, the deals will only get better. Deals never get worse until a vehicle is gone. That's the way it works. It doesn't matter what it is. The deals will always get better. Do not be afraid to walk away. Best advice I got for you and when to do it. Hope you got it, enjoyed it. Any questions, put them down below. Thanks for watching.